Alright. Good evening, everyone. My name's Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, a site for legacy death and taxes. And I've got something a little bit special for you today. Just take a minute to look at this glorious, glorious pile and appreciate the thing of beauty? Question mark? That it is. I'll wait. So what is this? That's a great question. Oh, and there's a couple of green suns over here that got clipped off. So this is essentially a Fauna Shaman / Green Sun Zenith Toolbox deck. Historically, older versions of this deck were called Most, which I believe was for Mariki Rebarrett, Opposition, Tradewind Rider, M-O-S-T, no, I forgot the S. S was Survival of the Fittest. So it was Mariki, Opposition, Survival of the Fittest, this is hard to say. Tradewind Rider stuff. I don't love that name because, you know, survival is banned. But Fauna Shaman does an okay replacement, I guess. So, like, what's the point? What are we trying to do? In many matchups, there's some silver bullet that you can go and find that will just take over and win the game. You know, whether it's Gaddock Teague, Leovold, Sanctum, Prelate, like these sorts of things can like really take over a game. And sometimes just like Fauna Shaman on turn 2 into, you know, turn 3, whatever idiot you need to win the matchup, great, like the game is over. But assuming that doesn't happen, you're sort of a toolbox creature deck that can accidentally produce a Grizzlebrand. The idea being that you use Fauna Shaman to find Grizzlebrand, discard Grizzlebrand to get loyal retainers, and then sacrifice loyal retainers to get a Grizzlebrand. Otherwise, you have some real odd stuff that you can tutor up. You can steal an opponent's creature, you can counter a spell, you can get back something important, you can put a Traxa into play, and it has a lot of words on it, and it costs 4 different colors of mana, so like it must be good. Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, Proliferate. Sure, I guess that's fine. This is going to be a little bit of a match, or not match, a league where we go and we see what happens each game, and each game is probably going to be very different and special. I think that the mana base for this deck is going to be rough because, like, we are a 5-color deck. Like, there's red cards in the sideboard, too, because why not when you're playing this Fauna Shaman Birds of Paradise deck? It's not free, but it's also not entirely crazy. So, like, I'm not going to say that I understand this sideboard, because, like, Swanson in particular, I'm looking at it and I'm like, but why? But, like, all the random bullet creatures that are here, like, these things make sense to me in this shell. The Winter Orbs, I guess it's fine against control decks. I don't know exactly how this deck is going to approach various matchups, but I feel like I have tools for combo, tools for graveyard-based decks, these Winter Orbs for controls, and then a bunch of bullets that I side in and out depending on which one of the things in the main deck are bad. Yeah, we are respecting the roots. We're going back quite a ways to cast this. God damn it. White faces with the next level trolling there. Thank you for that. I needed that. So I just want to like hop right into the the matches tonight. And like let's see what happens with this deck. I'm prepared to have some fun. With a pledge like that, it's got to be honesty. So for anyone not in on the joke, someone on Reddit started posting about Lavinia and was like, "Oh man, this deck's neat," because it showed up in a 5-0 list, and like before anybody like tagged me in it, I just posted, and I'm gonna be like, I can see it now. Phil, what do you think of this deck? Phil, what do you think of Lavinia? Phil, how many of my organs should I go and sell to buy copies of this card? I keep this. I think I can even cast all of my spells. So I probably don't need to... Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. I suppose I can't actually cast this one yet because I need both blue and black, and I can't get both of those. Taiga isn't really valuable to me, but I don't know what I want to like get with it yet, or get with like a Verdant Catacombs yet, so I don't think I want to fetch with that. I don't know if I'm quite in stealing creature territory yet anyway. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. It is hard to keep up with all the Discord channels. All right, Bob, I will decay that. And I can decay that while also like setting up Fauna Shaman loyal retainers, which is sweet. So I don't think I have an Underground Sea, so I need to get black, and I guess that is exactly Bayou. It is exactly Bayou. It is very unlikely I will stream any other game other than Magic. Not impossible, but very unlikely. Fixed survival. Yes, that is accurate. This is an annoyance. Oh. That's so much better than I thought this was going to be. Thought I was going to have to, like, lose one of these. We're past the point where Aether Vial is good anyway. I don't think I'm going to cast either of these this game. But I think I need to attack. Alright, the world is now my oyster. I'm going to take a minute to consider what I'm actually going to get before I just get a Grizzlebrand. I just, like, want to make sure that's not wrong. And it doesn't appear to me that it is. But there's a lot of things that I could cast. Yeah, it's just going to be Grizzlebrand. Gutshot the Bob, thank you very much for your continued support. Alright, so I didn't rip the land to just do it this turn. So what does that mean for my turn? I don't have blue to like cast Spell Queller, which might be neat. If I had the blue, I'd be inclined to just swing a couple like Liliana. But I think I'll just pass the turn. Come on, opponent. Plus, I dare you. I will discard one Grizzlebrand. Oh yeah, that's certainly true. Actually, yeah, then I could have just like Loyal Retainers produced a Grizzlebrand. Everything would have been okay. I'm also just very happy that my opponent didn't just like start trying to wasteland lock me, because they don't know this, but taking me off white would have been just stellar. Alright. So what's the best world? The best world is one where I draw 7 with Grizzlebrand right now, get green source and like a green sun or a mana dork to play around Lily. We will choose Grizzlebrand. Yeah, so now I can go like land Noble Hierarch. Feels very weird to be playing a fair deck that, oops, I Grizzlebranded. So the world is my oyster now. Don't even know what all to do. Alright, can I fetch another white source? Yes, there is another Savannah in the deck. So I could Eternal Witness and Decay the Knight. That's a thing. The Knight can potentially get Caracas and bounce the Grizzlebrand. Alright, so regardless, I'm going to kill the Lily this turn. And then I'll decide how much I care about Knight. I probably care enough about Knight to Eternal Witness Abrupt Decay it. I can try to ignore it, but it may not be wise to. So I need green, black to do this. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, but you definitely can, like, just tap a bunch of lands to produce a Grizzlebrand. It doesn't happen often in Legacy. Yeah, rituals into Grizzlebrand. That's fair. Alright, so my opponent is playing some sort of junk Life from the Loam deck. It could actually just be 4-color Loam, I guess, but I think it's probably just, like, junk. I don't know, I don't suppose... I mean, it could be, and they just saw an interesting set of lands. The Toxic Deluge is making me think it's not 4-color Loam, because that's not super stock in the main deck of that right now. So what do I want? I probably want Winter Orbs. This Planeswalker's probably fine. Then there's stuff that might be reasonable. Alright, so like what's bad? Let's start with that. Alright, so Teague's bad. Meddling Mage seems medium. Glenalandra seems slow. I might need to keep all the Meddling Mages just to like put on Life from the Loam because like my mana base is awful. But they're also probably going to have, you know, push, Swords to Plowshares, spot removal of that nature. Zardian, I'm happy to deny you a little bit of sleep for some great entertainment. Glad I could help. Click seems hard to cast. Like, I kind of just want to trim some of these blue cards. Just to, like, make blue a less important color since my mana is going to get attacked. Oh god, yeah, Peacekeeper's bad. I guess I can bring in another Prelate. I can bring in the Fairy as well. Although maybe if that's fighting too hard at that point. I will keep this. Draw cards, win games. It's called a combo, right? Combo. Great question, Ill with Phil. Great question. I don't know. Alright, so this is a weird turn. Because in your Aether Vial deck, you usually want to lead on Aether Vial. But if I lead on Aether Vial and I don't draw a land, I can't have 2 mana next turn. Here's a sentence I've never uttered before. But I really want to get this Aether Vial into play as soon as possible so that I can put in Atraxa. Proliferating the vials is how we're gonna get to 8 for the Grizzlebrand. So even if I miss the land, I still get to like vial in bird, so like it's not the end of the world. But hitting a land so that I could maybe abrupt decay that if it was a black land would be sweet. This card's really good. I don't know if you played against or with that card before, chat, but it does gross things. Now, it didn't happen this time, but one of the cool things you can do in the Aether Vial Dryad Arbor decks is you can tap Vial on 0 to put in a Dryad Arbor. You can put in a creature with CMC equal to the number of charge counters on it. The sucker's CMC is 0. I played a lot of Thrumming Bird in Triple Scars Limited. So Decay and Assassin's Trophy are different cards. They both do some sweet things, but they're quite different. So it's not a always strictly better by Legacy standards. There are going to be strengths and weaknesses of both. So like 4-color Loam, for example, will play a split of them. Alright, I don't have a second Dryad Arbor to get, so this isn't actually acceleration until I get one more. There we go. Turn our little tree friend sideways. Now this is a big if, but if this vial sticks around, Prelate into Atraxa is probably strong. All right. We'll say yes. White land. White land. No. At this point, I will concede to my opponent showing me a win condition. Because, like, Punishing Fire Grove is going to take care of everything I have until I'm at 3 lands. And this is going, like, it's going to sinkhole my first land. But I'm not willing to concede until they show me something like a Liliana or a Knight or something that can actually finish the game. I will basically concede immediately to one of those, though. That's fine. All right, so now there's Wasteland plus Punishing Fire. That's close enough to a win condition because I have almost no non-basics. We're we're done here. Like, we got the confirmation that my opponent is on 4-color loam, rather than just some sort of like junk build. So we're fine moving to the next game, and I can maybe sideboard a bit better now. So knowing what I know, Magus is probably fine. Glenalandra's stock maybe goes back up. I'd consider Kumbal as well. I mean, I do have way more 1-drops than a normal deck of this nature might. Oh man, do I not have like a disenchant effect at all in this 75? No, I have Knight of Autumn. Never mind. All right, that's good. I mean, Orb's certainly not bad, but I don't think I want to do that against a Mox Diamond deck. Like, they'll use a lot of mana, probably more than me. But if my early creatures aren't living, I don't know that I can afford to do this. I have no idea how to sideboard. Like, maybe if I'm gonna play Rest in Peace and it's gonna be an important part of my strategy, I should cut Loyal Retainer's Grizzlebrand. But it's just so powerful if it works. Maybe this is slow and hard to cast. Rest in Peace is also super awkward when like Fauna Shaman is involved and Eternal Witness. Again, like super not confident in how I'm sideboarding. Can't make that clear enough. Magus will get him. It's like mutually assured destruction, right? I don't even know if Aether Vial should be in this deck. Like, there's so many mana dorks. The combo is Loyal Retainers plus Grizzlebrand. So what am I doing with this Fauna Shaman? What is its job? So we don't get the oops, I Grizzlebranded. Or we could do it and just slowly, and like Fauna Shaman for Knight of Autumn, Knight of Autumn, destroy this, then Loyal Retainers Grizzlebrand. That seems like a lot of work. Alright, I'm gonna do something real weird here. So I'm gonna get Forest, even though I really don't want to get Forest. And I'm gonna get Fauna Shaman in play. If my Fauna Shaman lives, I can use this and like Bird of Paradise and just produce a Magus. Yes, correct. This is bad survival. I did this turn wrong. I should have untapped the Fauna Shaman so I could attack with that. I was just thinking about wanting extra mana to like use Green Sun, but I can't make 2 mana. But I suppose what I did will allow me to Abrupt Decay on my opponent's turn. Man, opponent's line was like super greedy. In my upkeep, they could have just like nabbed both birds and Quarian Ranger, so I don't understand why they didn't. Okay. So now the hope is that my opponent has a bunch of color-intensive cards in their hand that I'm going to keep them off of. Life from the Loam for 2 mountains. And they played a different mountain than the 2 they got back. Do I take this pile up? I have more 2s than 3s, but I do have some 4s that if I draw them, I would like to. I do have some 2s that I can't cast right now. I think I'll leave it at 2 for right now. And get immediately punished. Yeah, opponent playing Mountain Tribal. You got it. So let's get rid of that library. Tap my ether vial. Put that on 2. It stops like Decay and Punishing Fire and Chalice. It specifically won't stop Deluge that someone mentioned in chat. But I think 2 is the best line. Can't green sun for a meddling mage as much as I would love to do that. I don't think I green sun for anything here. I think I saved that. At 1 more mana, I can get like Knight of Autumn or Leovold, which would just be better. I guess I can put this other vial into play. Did we do it? I think we did it. We did it! I mean, ill with Phil, I'd take it a step further. I'd say Food Chain went from being a good sleeper pick to fringe to nearly non-existent. Like, I played around with Food Chain a decent amount in local paper events, and I thought the deck was very good. But that's probably more than a year ago at this point, though. But the deck really like bullied some of the random control decks that were running around that just like couldn't deal with Mist Hollow Griffin every turn for the rest of the game. That stuff was just obnoxious. It was just a really good value deck that pivoted relatively well. Yeah, Food Chain, definitely a deck that you'll lose to if you have not played against it before. That is a real advantage of that deck. It can be very tricky to navigate properly if you don't really know what you're doing. Wow, Limdual's Vault in that shell. That I haven't seen. Ringo Death Star. That is a solid name. Pink lemonade. Or no, raspberry lemonade. I mean, still pink, but, you know, flavored. It's been a lot of tea for me recently. I've had some sinus stuff going on. You can probably still tell. And hot tea, just, it's so good. Just making you feel like a regular human again. But this was the, hey, I want more room in the fridge, so I should drink the tail end of this bottle. Again, here's this, like, Aether Vial, like, mana dork tension. I mean, Mariki is the tech. He'll use it to steal your opponent's sweet things. I kind of think my opponent's just a combo deck. In which case, protecting my mom doesn't matter. But just like getting these meddling mages into play does. So having multiple Aether Vials will allow me to just like dump my hand out over the next few turns. Yeah, like this is my opponent's third cantrip. I really just feel like I should be dead. Holy crap, I'm not dead. Everything's okay. I've done it, chat. Yeah, this is game one. All right. So I guess Swan Song's fine. Rest in Peace seems medium. I might not even board this. Prelate's fine. Staticaster's fine. Pontiff's fine. Cabal is good. Fairy is medium minus. Probably don't want to play that. So the graveyard hate cards are the ones in question. I was lucky to get that one. Like, let's be real, chat. All right. I don't want these decays. They seem very bad. Scavenging Ooze seems bad. Maybe not bad enough to board out, but not great. I'm not sure how I feel about Quirion Ranger and Scrib Ranger as on tappers. Peacekeeper seems bad. Mariki seems bad. That seems bad. It's probably not the Atraxa matchup. Yeah, I can see Witness being bad. So then the question is, like, do I want to play these graveyard hate cards? Because if I play them, then I shut off my Loyal Retainer's Grizzlebrand, which is like my oops, I win off of Fauna Shaman. But maybe Fauna Shaman is just supposed to get me a bear. Like, maybe that's how I'm supposed to treat it. And these two come out for the two Rest in Pieces. Yeah, this is going to be a fun stream, Bosk. I'm enjoying myself. I get to see some really cool things with these donation deck lists. This one's particularly special. Yeah, Knight of Autumn's pretty medium as well. I mean, a lot of the cards are kind of medium. Like, I think Quirion Ranger, Scrib Ranger, Knight of Autumn are all kind of meh. But, like, this is a 3-mana 4/3 if it doesn't accidentally hit a Cabal, or not a Cabal, a Lion's Eye Diamond or something like that. I think I'm fine with keeping this in the deck. So my only blue duel is Trop, right? Yeah, so I have 3 Trops. So if I want to Swan Song, this has to fetch Trop. So this is hold up Swan Song. So my opponent can't go off. Then tap out for Fauna Shaman. Then hold up Swan Song plus Fauna Shaman activation. I don't know that this is better than a mulligan. Like I'm not super happy with this hand. All right, how many actual berries do I have? 3, 4. I guess I don't have Thalias, so like maybe I can't overly mulligan. Like I can't mulligan too aggressively. Maybe this is fine. Like this has 2 different ways to get the cards that I want in this matchup. Like maybe I have to accept that. And if I get Thoughtseized and I lose the Swan Song, then I can just like play out Dryad Arbor so that I can like 100% for sure curve out. That was top with Preordain, which is scary. Also scary is drawing that Aether Vial. I'm doing it. I'm playing the Aether Vial. You know why I'm playing the Aether Vial? Because I can Violin this Dryad Arbor. And it's super sweet, because then next turn I can play Fauna Shaman with Swansong backup. And then I won't have to like tap out the Swansong ever again after this turn. Yeah, it's happening. Alright, so that's bottom with that Preordain. Now there's a Ponder. It's very specific, HC Fox. I do agree, though. That is a great island. I like that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ha ha! God, I love Magic. Woo! Woo! No Underground Sea is rough, but I mean, this is happening. Yeah, we just slammed that. Turn 2 Scumball. Got him. As an aside, Kambal is a card that I really like. I've played around with it a little bit in both Legacy and Vintage. I think it's a very powerful card. I just don't think it has a fantastic home. I mean, the fourth cantrip in a row without going off is a great sign for us, yeah. I mean, the better sign is the fact that I now get to have Mother of Runes protection for Kambal. And Kambal is a hate bear that will like go and survive things like Abrupt Decay once Mom's around, and it will survive things like Massacre as well. All right. An awkward world that I'm living in. I did board out the Grizzlebrand, right? Yeah. So Fauna Shaman is just a value tutor card. So this turn is just play a Rest in Peace, exile the graveyards, bash in for 2. End of turn, put in a Fauna Shaman. Activate the Fauna Shaman, get a new hate bear, discarding the other Fauna Shaman. Oh, it's way faster than 7, like, because we're putting in a 2/2 as well. I don't know that I'm going to get the chance to pick. Spawn, yeah, they call it Bizarro Stompy. Someone just shared that with me a few days ago. The deck's been running around for a little while. I don't know that it's necessarily better than regular Tin Fins, but it's neat. Alright, Ad Naus from 13 is okay for me. Not great, but okay. Alright, opponent has mana, no way to win currently. That does not help. Opponent is dead on board, though. They might need to continue if they don't have a way to win in hand. HC Fox, I feel like I'm just trying to bully Ant anytime I play humans. That deck has so many hate bears on 2. Because like you have Thalias and Mages and Kite Sail Freebooter, it's silly. Excuse me. Non-Hellbent Infernal Tutor? What? Oh, did you really have 2 Infernal Tutors to start off this whole thing? Or is this a pause of shame? Uh-oh. I wonder if that was an, oh god, I forgot to play out my LED one. No shuffle, draws with Ponder, so I'm probably just dead. Is it going to be Pedal for another Ponder? Thoughtsei's targeting me. I respect that. I respect that a lot. The joke being that my opponent is at 1 life. Just like that, we're 2-0 with most Fauna Shaman Toolbox. Apparently we're just boxy enough to do some boxing. Magic Twitter's been interesting today, for anyone who's not following that. The winner of the last GP didn't end up getting a trophy. Supposedly it got, like, lost in the mail or something like that on the way to the tournament, which is disappointing. And the GP coverage kind of disappeared. So that's great. But they do have money to spend on getting some band to make magic songs. So, that's neat. I'm so confused. I don't really mean to complain. That's not my intention here, because, like, most of these things don't personally affect me in any way. I just don't understand the rationale by which some of the decisions were reached. And trying to understand that when so few facts are readily available, it's frustrating. I should know what this person plays. Lands. Okay, can I turn 3 a Leovold with this hand? This fetches Trop, so this casts Mom. This is green, black, blue. So I guess I'll keep this. I don't feel favored against lands, like we're super bad against Wasteland. My opponent was just telling me how much they liked the Miracles matches I did with Anurag. If my opponent gets to Loam, they get to draw 3 whole cards. Nope, Punishing Fire for now. Crop rotation? If my opponent has Loam as one of those last 2 cards, this is devastating. I will concede to life from the Loam. Yeah. It's not happening. Like, Thicket plus Loam plus Wasteland is too good. Not gonna waste your time. We're not beating that. So I like stuff that stops the graveyard / Punishing Fire and Wasteland recursion. Is this good? This probably isn't good. Now. Cabal's a maybe. Winter Orb's a maybe as well. We only conceded because we wouldn't have enough mana to pay for our Peacekeeper. Good call. Okay, What's bad? The dream world where I get to Mariki steal a Merit Lodge is pretty sweet. But that's probably unrealistic. I should probably board that out. Teague probably sucks. Decays are probably medium, but I'll probably keep both of them because like they have their uses, if nothing else, to answer Tireless Tracker. Click seems hard to cast for medium value. Peacekeeper probably is not good. I'm the aggressor. Like, I know it can stop Merit Lodge, but I think I need to not get too cute in thinking about what I can do to a Merit Lodge. This is probably, like, impossible to cast. That would be 60. Huh. All right, chat. All right, this one's for you. This one's for you. I'm in for that. That seems like just the right amount of janky. Which means I have to cut something else. I don't know what to cut. I will randomly decide to trim one mom. Which probably isn't correct, but I'm out of time. All right, chat. We're gonna go for draw land, play turn 2 Moon Man. But if I do that, then and like I get forest, doesn't really work too well for me. So we're this is weird. So I could just like wooded foothills. All right, let's play towards Magus. So a wooded foothills for Taiga. And I'll play Noble Hierarch because it can still produce mana in the case that I flute Magus into play. All right. Is this good? You get a forest. Magus gets to hit for 3 a turn. This is concerning. Things have gone wrong. This is scary. So for anyone who's not familiar with how this works, Dark Depths now does not enter with counters on it. So if my opponent gets to Punishing Fire this Magus at any point, GG. It wasn't a mistake. I knew what was happening. Oh man, I can't Green Sun for Meddling Mage. That's unfortunate. Like, I know that's a statement. That's kind of silly, but... like, that's what I really want. I can just get a bird so that I can... No, I fucked up this turn. I should have thought this through a little bit more. I should have gotten another noble hierarch so that I could have snuck in one more point of damage. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe I'm supposed to get Bird anyway because, like, Bird lets me decay. And it blocks Merit Lodge if my opponent does have Punishing Fire. Now, if this was an Assassin's Trophy here, that'd be cool. We're not actually all that bad off. So I can play Fauna Shaman, and then next turn get Gilded Drake. I can't play both Meddling Mage and Fauna Shaman, or I just die to Merit Lodge hitting me. I have to like chump block Merit Lodge with Birds of Paradise. Or no, I guess I can because I can tap Noble Hierarch. Never mind. My bad. No, I think I name Punishing Fire and play for the long game. Hey, welcome. Like, Punishing Fire plus land also just kills me, so, like, naming that with Meddling Mage seems very good. This is, like, traditional lands, not depths, so I don't need to be as worried about Sajiri Step. That's actually a problem. Now I don't have 4 mana to get and play Gilded Drake. But I guess Scrib Ranger buys a turn. Drake's 2 mana? Seriously? That's allowed for 2 mana? Alright, we good. Alright, I gotta snip this one. I mean, this seems like the trade some floor trader makes with a 5-year-old kid where they're like, hey, that's a nice $100 card you have. Wouldn't you like this stack of commons? And the kid's like, yeah. And the floor trader gets literally all the value in the world. That's kind of what this feels like. Yeah, the blood was in the water there. We're just going for the kill. Our opponent knows about my secrets now. I'm just looking to see if there's something I want over a Mother of Runes. Or, like, that I want to play this fourth mom. Because I just kind of, like, randomly cut this when I was running out of time while sideboarding. I feel like most of the rest of this stuff is fine. The whole, like, Loyal Retainers Grizzlebrand thing is definitely awkward with Rest in Peace. But I think since my opponent has, like, Oops, I comboed, I should probably have Oops, I comboed too. Is this good? Like, it just dies to Punishing Fire, though. But I guess, like, it's super cute if it works. I don't know. I don't know that this one's actually good enough. Yeah, I can see Eternal Witness being pretty medium. I'd be happy to play another Mom over that. Mom's a little worse on the draw, but it's not like Eternal Witness is getting back anything too spicy anyway. Yeah, like Click can bottom up P-Fire or a Loam, but like it's blue-blue, so it's really hard to cast. Eh. If I had more blue sources, I think I'd be happy playing Click. But like against the Wasteland deck where blue is like one of my side colors, I don't think it's great. Speaking of not great, this hand, this would be great if I had a blue source. Remember those blue sources I was just talking about not having? I'm gonna keep this. I'm not happy. Bottom. I mean, you should assume that lands brings in trackers like every matchup. I don't know that that's actually true, but it's a very powerful card that once your opponent's removal comes out, it just can take over games. Alright, come on. Land to library. Yeah! I have no idea what land I'm getting, by the way. I already have black, so I just need to get green. I probably want green-blue because I have both Leovold. Yeah, all these cards require blue, so I should just get a Trop. There it is. I think I want Mana Acceleration over Fauna Shaman. I could, like, just try to, like, Fauna Shaman somehow Grizzlebrand, but I think I need some more mana in order to get ahead this game. It's also a real temptation to take Quirion Ranger here, but I don't think my opponent has Wasteland yet. So I think I'm going to get a bird. No, this is the third match. We're in game 3 of match 3. I am 2-0 currently. So we were... Oh, that is savage. While the Grove is tapped, I really do need to go and make that play. It's just brutal that they had that. But I guess it means I'm not just getting, like, Dark Depths staged immediately, so I guess it's okay. But I think this game's over. If I play out Fauna Shaman, it just dies, so I'm just going to pass the turn, hope to draw a white source to play Meddling Mage on Punishing Fire before Tireless Tracker kills me. Oh yeah, like, Tireless Tracker is insane. It is going to, you know, just kill me even if my opponent doesn't combo me out. Like, my opponent can just, like, crack me for 7 this turn, and then crack me for 9 the following turn, and I'll die. Alehop. Arena isn't for me personally, because I just play Legacy. I respect it for what it is. A lot of people really like Arena, but it's not for me as someone who plays exclusively Legacy. If I were to complain about Arena, I don't like it visually. I'm not into all the, like, animations and stuff that they're doing on there, and I get what they're trying to do and who they're trying to appeal to, but it's not me. But I certainly will not hate on it as a platform. Like, it's definitely doing some things right, but it is in beta. There's some things that need to be changed still. This is a weak 6. I'm, like, super not happy with this 6. My opponent's probably playing Delver, and, like, I'm not going to get to cast these 3 cards, and this isn't a good start anyway. I think I ship this. This is the best hand so far, and I'll top that land. I will put Misty out so I don't get wastelanded. Oh yeah, I took a picture of the Gilded Drake thing actually happening. That was a really cool moment. All right, bottom with preordained. So this needs to get a white source for Spell Queller, which means Savannah. Didn't even have to think about that. It was my only choice. I mean, I like treats. Might treat myself to a cough drop here in a minute if my opponent starts, like, comboing off. I'm not really sick, but my sinuses have been doing this thing for, like, the past week and a half where they just don't want to be human sinuses. Ooh, that's a solid draw. That means I can do 2 spells this turn. And I don't want to Spell Queller this turn. I want to, like, wait, and then I can hold up, like, Spell Queller / Fauna Shaman activation next turn. They're probably just going to Phoenix me. Everyone wants to Phoenix me these days. Ash Moses, I think that sounds terrible. I'm gonna level with you. I think you're jumping through too many hoops to make that card good. If I want to put a second Miracle in my deck, it's Entreat the Angels. That card's nuts. Ah, Salamander Drakes. I love Salamander Drakes. Yeah, we're probably playing against blue-red Salamander Lizard Delver. One, two, three, four, five. Geez, there's 5 in there already. All right. We'll pass the turn. Beware the thick Lizzie. I think I'm willing to just snap this off on any spell. Because this exiles it, and so it won't hit the graveyard to make this cheaper. Because there's 5 in here right now. That would be 6 in there. And then my opponent could activate this for 2. Yeah, so I'm willing to snap this off. Bolt's not too much of a concern with, like, Mom on the table, right? Boo. We're gonna get Salamander Lizard to death. Twice. It's super unfortunate because the Force of Will then made that cost 1. Everything has backfired. Ha! 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 So I can buy a lot of time with Script Ranger. So, like, I still am going to have a 5/5 to worry about, but this can blank a lot. Oh god, no. You can only adapt once, otherwise it would just be insane. So the thing is that if I draw a land, I'm actually like really okay. It's not quite right, but it does the same thing. Actually, I guess I can just do it now, right? I could just go like 3 lands, Scrib Ranger, return 1, play 4th, and just cast it. Let's just do that. Don't daze me. Don't daze me. Technically, they listened. Yeah, sure, I guess I did miss an attack for 1. Oh, come on, wasteland me. Wasteland me. Do it. And we're so close to making this work. So close. If our opponent didn't have either one of those forces, I think we could have won this one. Alright, so this seems fine. This seems fine. This is really good if my opponent is not adapted. Same with this. So we'll probably play these. I mean, it's slightly awkward, but it's probably fine. I'm going to have some things that I'm going to want to take out anyway. So I have five cards that I consider. This is, like, maybe too deep. But, like, it'll kill the non-adapted threats. And it's kind of annoying. I might not end up playing this. Like, let's see what I have to board in and out here. So, like, I don't like Gaddock Teague. Meddling Mages are kind of medium. A lot of my cards are hard to cast. Like, this is a sweet card if I get it in play. Like, how do they beat that? But it's super hard to cast against Delver, so that's awkward. Sure, and I'm aware of that, but like against unflipped Delvers, against Pyromancer tokens, like these sorts of cards are good anyway. Knight of Autumn can just gain life. Marik can steal their sweet things. I don't know. Alright, that seems hard to cast. Let's cut that. I don't really even know what I'd name with Meddling Mage. Maybe those aren't good. Like, if I play Meddling Mage, like, I'm just, like, naming, like, Lightning Bolt or Terramancer. Alright, I guess I'll play this. It's a flyer. Like, with Mom. Mom plus flyers is very good in this matchup, I think. Yeah, I mean, Sanctum Prelate definitely better than Meddling Mage here. Not close, at least in this shell. Yeah, I'll keep this. This is a reasonable hand. I have cards that matter. Mana to cast them. I will have to be very cognizant of my lands, given the very different color requirements of these cards. My opponent trying to decide how scary this is. It appears they have decided scary. They're right. So we're hoping for the Delver to not blind flip here, because if it doesn't blind flip, I get it with Is It Staticaster. Yeah. Ooh, buddy. Alright, don't have it, opponent. Don't have a Dazer Force for this. Yes! Alright, so we get the Delver this turn, and we'll get this next turn. Careful Study's kind of scary. I guess if they went, like, Careful Study into Thought Scour, they could, like, get enough to, like, make this a 5/5 this turn or something. I guess I have to be cognizant of that. HC Fox, you're fired. That was rough. So I was just thinking to myself whether or not something like Rest in Peace is worth it, and I think the answer is no. Yeah, I mean, like, Garrick's not unreasonable, but I think it's, like, on the slow side as far as, like, removal goes. I think I'm okay with what I have here. No, I don't think there's going to be Phoenixes. I think this is just Blue-Red Delver with a couple of value-oriented careful studies. That's my personal opinion at this stage. Like, the Phoenixes just really work best with, like, the Buried Allied stuff. Like, you can just play a blue-red shell that has, like, Manamorphose in it, And like there was a deck list that had those. There's also a world where I just play Gilded Drake. And like swap their adapted Pteromancers for my Gilded Drake, but that's kind of weird. I think that's going too deep. I think I keep this. It's a little sketch, but Script Ranger's probably really good. Just like a pro blue thing. And like Pontiff can sweep the board from some early stuff. So like I don't hate this hand. I do need more mana with it. But like once I hit that third land, I think I'm in pretty good shape. And like third land or Mana Dork gets us there. I do think I can get Delvered pretty easily with a hand like this one, but I don't think it's bad enough to go back on the draw. All right, there's my third land. Script Ranger has flash, so I don't need to play it now. Really quite curious what my opponent has over there. It might just be something like True Name Nemesis or something stupid like that. So one of these needs to get Savannah, and one of these needs to get Bayou for me to cast all my things except Vendilion Click. I'm not going to intend on casting Vendilion Click anytime soon. I wonder if my opponent's hand is just like super reactive, just full of like bolts and stuff. All right, there is a Phoenix. I mean, blue is a little hard on the list. I don't think Vendilion Click should be in this deck. I mean, honestly, the deck probably shouldn't be this many colors either, but like here we are. Excellent. I scared my opponent out of attacking. That's really what I wanted, which is why I played the Script Ranger when I did, because I don't want to like do the 3-for-2 damage trade right now. I want to just like try to keep playing the game, because I think as the game goes along, I'm more and more and more favored. If they attack, they do 3, and I do 2 right back to them. Or like maybe they just like forgot what like that this isn't blanked by Phoenix. I don't know exactly, but it might be an indication that their hand is weak. If I slam Mom though, like I'm wasting 2 mana. I think I just I could just play a 4/3. The thing is that if I fetch blue for click, then I can't ever cast this like Pontiff, and I think the Pontiff can be really good. Like the only way I can play click this turn and me be happy about it is if I bounce my own land in order to do it. But I don't know that I want to effectively miss a land drop versus Delver. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I don't love this play, but I'm going to play Mom. And I'm just going to pass. And if my opponent doesn't have a bolt, I end up pretty far ahead. I feel like they're going to have a bolt. Two damage to each creature without flying. Okay. So I can untap some creatures, but that doesn't actually do me any good. Alright. I kind of just want to jam the Tradewind Rider as a 4 toughness threat. But maybe I'm supposed to click this turn. That way I don't get got by days. I'm not going to play that Scared of Days. Famous last words, right? Trade Wind Rider very much has the potential to take over this game. I will still block. If they have the bolt, they have the bolt. Yeah, that's fine. The awkward thing is that if I use Scrib Ranger's ability, I do just, like, turn on the Wasteland. So I probably don't get to return a land successfully. Which is awkward. Or no, I guess I get to return it successfully, but then I allow one of them to be blown up. Yeah, I guess that's fine. This is a weird game of Magic, by the way. And I'm going to click them. I really want the information. I think I will take a Brainstorm. Brainstorm is probably better than whatever random card is on the top of their library. I get them one deeper for, like, careful study reasons. But maybe, like, Brainstorm's only good if paired with a fetch. No, I guess Brainstorm's also very good with the careful studies that are in hand. It's super awkward if I draw them into Daze or Force, though. So I'll let them have that and then play Mom. There's no reason to make that play right now. I think that's a very bad play. Like, my Scrib Ranger is gone, so you can wait until your turn to see whether or not you actually need to use that Wasteland and, like, evaluate what colors you want to cut me off of. They also showed me a new card for turn, rather than play one of the 3 cards in hand that I knew about. I'll take that hit, that's fine. Opponent did top with Preordain, by the way. Pyroblast on a click. Well, life's a little awkward right now. But I don't really hate my position. Didn't go as planned. Thank you very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the content. That was one bottom, one top with preordained. I mean, we know my opponent's hand is relatively weak. If I can, like, getting a Knight of Autumn in play buys me like a turn in a half. I have the Vial to start ticking up towards something that's meaningful. Never mind. Like, blank drawing any flyer plus mana to cast it, I guess, like, lets me invalidate this. I don't care about my opponent playing non-Phoenix threats because I have Abrupt Decay to answer them. Yeah, the Pyroblasts for my, like, 3 blue cards. Because, like, the mages are out, I think this is out, I think one of these was out. I guess it's fine. Alright, do I want to decay that? Probably. Like, I'd much rather Orzhov Pontiff it, but I don't know that I'm in the position where I can take the chance of that getting dazed and then just, like, literally die. I probably just need to, like, trade this while I can. So I could Eternal Witness for Scrib Ranger, fetch to 5, get hit to 3, then play Scrib Ranger, have Scrib Ranger mob. Or I can fetch to 5, Knight of Autumn, gain 4 life, go up to 9, and then be able to take 3 Phoenix hits. So I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, just try to gain the life. I guess gaining the life allows me to Eternal Witness the following turn, so I guess, like, that's the line. Am I fetching blue? I think I need to fetch Savannah in case I get wastelanded. That way I still have access to 2. Maybe I need to get greedier. Like, I was thinking Savannah because if I draw Prelate, it's just, like, so good, but I guess blue allows me to play Leovold and Spellqueller and Glen Elandra with any other land. Alright. It's also just at the point where they can cast another Arclight Phoenix and double their clock, and that's all sorts of bad news for me. I mean, that's the preferable land for them to wasteland, if I'm being honest. That would have been so good. Our opponent dawdled around really hard this game. We just lacked the ability to punish them. I'm not sure what I'm drawing to at this point, because I need something that can block the Phoenix and the Scrib Rangers in the graveyard. It is not that, so I'm dead. This is not the way this league was supposed to go. We were starting off great. We got bullied by lands. That one was very, very winnable. We can call it some combination of like drawing poorly and poor mana base / greed. So we're hoping to win one more and just make the money back on this one. Like one of the things I mentioned that match was like the blue blues really hard, and we definitely felt the pressure from that with this one. All right, this looks solid. I'll play Bird of Paradise on turn 1 so that I can turn to Fauna, Shaman, and Mom. Man, are we just going to play against lands again? Nope. Discard Ancient Tomb. Eldrazi with Mox Diamond, so we're probably playing against like white Eldrazi. Albino Lion. I'm not 100% sure that it works, but on mobile devices, Twitch should have a little puzzle piece icon that you can click in order to enable it. Now, I've never tried that on an iPad, but I think it should work. All right, we can definitely beat a Batterskull with our hand. Like, Mother of Runes alone will beat that Batterskull. Mother of Runes plus Griselbrand. Eh. Honestly, I think Peacekeeper will just be game over against my opponent's deck as well. I mean, unless they're playing something big, like an Endbringer, I don't see them having outs to it. I'm happy to help. I've been working with the Cardboard Live folks from pretty early on. They're actually one of my sponsors, and I've learned a few tricks here and there. I mean, hell, I'd probably cut like 2 colors from this deck. I really wonder if you can just like cut both the blue and the red and build something that has something resembling a respectable mana base and like do the same sort of shenanigans. We have 2 red cards. It's Is It Staticaster and Magus, right? I think that's all of them. Is it just Peacekeeper time? Like, I could just slam Peacekeeper and Ether Vial. If I... And then just have, like, time to set up. I can also just, like, play out Leovold and, like, make it super annoying for my opponent to use Eldrazi Displacer. I have to, like, live in fear of something getting Thought-Knot seared at some point. So I guess I should, like, cast Peacekeeper. And I think I'll hold up Fauna Shaman. Because I can Fauna Shaman away the Leovold, get Grizzlebrand, and herpa derpa derpa derp. But it's possible I should just play Ether Vial so that I can dump stuff into play long term. But I'll hold up Fauna Shaman. I just literally think my opponent cannot beat Peacekeeper in game 1. I guess the way they could beat it is like completely taking us off of white mana. That's fine, you can take one of those. And then I'll probably Fauna Shaman for Scrib Ranger so that I can have something to protect my lands from Wasteland. This is going to be a very long game, by the way. I'm sure that's already clear. Now I'm relatively glad I didn't play out the Ether Vial, because at some point I can probably force my opponent to take the Vial. I mean, we will kill them before they can get a mill win. That's absurd. Like that's not happening. We will just put this into play now. So this is a free untap, because I haven't played a land this turn. Could play the Vial. Does that accomplish anything? Not really. I might be able to do something real cute with it, though. So I will play it. I've got an idea. Yeah, that's not a problem. So I don't think I activate Fauna Shaman, because if I do, my opponent will blink. So I just let this go on. Eldrazi Temple taps for 2. So if I activate Fauna Shaman, I can have 2 mana and cast something for 2. No, I think I just wait. I want to get this bird in, and then I want to turn the Sanctum Prelate into Shalai, I guess. And then somehow deal with Caracas. We'll figure it out. Yes, Chalice of 1, still fine. Wasteland, that I have an onboard trick for that though. So if I activate this Fauna Shaman and discard the Prelate, my opponent will probably go and blink the thought not to take whatever I get. But I don't really want this card. So I think I'm okay with my opponent. Like, just cycling through. So I need to get something that's annoying, but doesn't actually matter all that much, because it's going to get taken. What falls into that category? Eternal Witness? Eternal Witness would fall into that category. That's good enough where they have to take it. Because, like, that gets Leovold back, and that's super obnoxious. I mean, HC Fox, I'll say it again, but, like, it's not reasonable to try to mill me out from 44 when they can only make me draw 2 extra cards a turn. I just don't think that's viable. Alright, so now they blink Thought Knot. So now they'll take my Eternal Witness. I'll get something else. They've stacked this poorly. So they don't get to, like, pick which one of these I get. They sure can. Alright, so I can have 3 4-mana, which means I can play a 3-drop off of Fauna Shaman if I discard. Is there a 3-drop that I want? I can get Mariki and be cute. But I really just want to get a 4-drop, like, trade. This is crazy if it gets online. I could take their Displacer and get cute. I thought I didn't play a land. Oops, my bad. But that's fine. Now they're losing their City of Traders, which is great for me. They're not even floating mana, which is great. I mostly just want to see what they do, which is why I'm taking an action here. They take no action. So I'll just cycle it for a different creature. Cycle it for Mariki in hopes that that makes them pull the trigger and take this. Opponent is, like, not doing this optimally. But that's okay. I'm just trying to progress towards getting Trade Wind Rider into play and just winning the game. Yep, it's game 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, so I can do it next turn off of Vial very safely. I guess I don't need to take an action. So now as soon as they blink Displacer, I produce Tradewind Rider. So what happens if I activate Fauna Shaman? If I activate it, I get the thing. If I activate Vial, they do it. But I have enough mana to hard cast it, so I can get it safely now. Just fetch effectively to thin. Yeah, so they blink. I respond by putting this into play. They can take my Vial. The opponent doesn't know how to stack their Thought Knot triggers, which is great for me. So now I can turn Mom into anything, and I get to bounce once a turn. I don't even know what I'm turning this into. Let's find out. Probably Shalai. So my plan was like put Shalai into play, tax their mana with Caracas, like bounce their other lands, and then just like start doing Trade Wind Rider, Scrib Ranger, followed by like Quirion Ranger shenanigans. Alright, so White Eldrazi. I like this. I like this. Pontiff's probably not actually good. Gilded Drake's probably fine. They have some big annoying things that I can steal sometimes. Winter Orb's going to be okay in some spots, bad in others. I don't know if I actually want this when I'm on the draw. Probably don't. Like, Pontiff and Staticaster are probably not good enough. We didn't actually see too many of my opponent's threats. Alright, let's figure out what's bad, and then I'll probably make some small adjustments. So, like, Teague's very bad. Meddling Mage is pretty medium, but I can put it on, like, Thought-Knot Seers or Eldrazi Displacers as the game goes long. I don't know that I can afford Winter Orb on the draw. I also feel like most of my cards are pretty okay. Glenalandra probably not good enough. So like I have a few cards that are clearly bad and a few cards that are clearly good. But then like these two and Winter Orbs are kind of like eh. Like if they're untapping soul lands to my regular lands, I don't really love that rate. I think I'm gonna whack the submit button like this. I have Vial and some reasonable magic cards. This is okay. Again, there's like tension between like the Vials and the effective mana dorks, right? Although we did see what Vial was capable of that game. We played for a very long game. So my opponent mulliganed, Mox Diamonds. Wasteland's pretty good against us. You're gonna Chalice? Stoneforge on turn 1 again. This time I presume getting a Jete, yeah. Well, that's not going to be easy to beat. I do have a Knight of Autumn, which this Green Sun is going to get. I need to get Forest this turn so that I can play Scavenging Ooze as a way to trade with the Stoneforge Mystic on the following turn. This Wasteland is going to get whatever I get with my Wooded Foothills, but I don't want to trade land for land here and have my opponent go like land plus equip. Jeez, that's rough. All right, Vial to 8. Let's do it. I think Trop is the most expendable here. So I'll get one of those. Play out News. Expect to trade this for Stoneforge. If my opponent has like Batterskull plus 4th land, I'm in bigger trouble. Sword of Fire and Ice. It's not actually that much worse than Jete. Like, it's a little worse, but not considerably so. I don't understand what's hard about this turn. Like, your turn's on autopilot. Like, you attack with Stoneforge, I chump with Scavenging Ooze, you wasteland my drop. If I receive a donation for Infect, then yes. Otherwise, no. You know, what happens on the channel is largely a function of, like, what donations do I receive. Most non-D&T happenings aren't my fault. Sword of Fire and Ice being super annoying here because I can't, like, put in Meddling Mage to block. I'm also not entirely sure if my opponent's line for this turn was correct. Like, just playing out the Jitte and wastelanding me might be overall a stronger play. But they probably don't understand or know what my outs are, so this is a very good draw. Like, I don't have the black source yet, but, like, this is great. Alright, so I guess we can do it this way. Let's return a land. Yes. Fetch. Get Bayou. I could be, like, super ballsy and just get the Stoneforge. Which is probably crazy person talk. But it's super tempting. Like, if I kill the Stoneforge, then my opponent has to deploy another creature, and if I draw a land, I can just, like, Zenith. It might just be correct to hit Stoneforge and use that to buy time to do other things. The issue is that, like, if I just, like, kill Jitte and then chump block for a couple of turns, and I cast Green Sun, fuck it. Let's get Stoneforge. Let's play to win. I'm also somewhat serious about sending a Vial to 8. Just throwing that out there. I think that's happening this match. Alright. It's a very annoying card for them to have. Why the hell are you equipping that instead of wastelanding me? That's a legitimate why I don't understand. Land to punish. Not land to punish. That's unfortunate. Is there anything at 2 I can do that matters? Not really. Yeah, kind of just have to pass the turn here. So note, I am A-okay with throwing away a creature here so they don't get a card. And if they want to use their mana to tap this down, again, also fine with me. All I need to do is keep my life total high enough that I can survive until this Grizzlebrand, and then maybe we'll figure something out for that. What don't I want to draw? Probably Fauna Shaman. Fauna Shaman is something that will require 2 Jete counters to remove. Or they could, like, tap it down end of turn, but my opponent's bad, so, you know, they can not do that as well. It's not going to matter. Like, even though they're, like, not wastelanding me and allowing me the opportunity to, like, rip a land and just, like, totally get back into this game. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to need like one more turn that I didn't get because they had the Displacer. I mean, they already beat Peacekeeper with Jitte. That's unfortunate. Like, they know what this card does, right? Do they know how good this is? Alright, that's it for me. I concede. I think opponent played pretty poorly, but it didn't matter. I couldn't capitalize on it. Oh, neat, there's another game here. I thought I just lost. If I was more cognizant of that, I would have conceded a little earlier, give myself more time. The clock favors me, and my opponent's playing pretty slowly. That's super annoying. It's like literal best card they could have in their opener against my opener. More so than anything else, it's annoying me because I'm going to have to click on this Ether Vial every turn. I'm going to just ram Fauna Shaman out there, make them deal with it. So now I get to leave a Fauna Shaman activation up so I can pitch the Shalai for something more useful. It's an annoyance, and it'll mean I'll have to make my decision relatively quickly. I probably just get Loyal Retainers, though. Do you just have Reality Smasher after Thought-Knot Seer? That's super tilting. I'll get Grizzlebrand. We'll hope to draw White Source for Loyal Retainer combo. Nope. Vials off with Spyglass. I can get a bird, though. Alright, under what circumstances do I actually have to block? So I can beat Wasteland on any one of my lands, because I'll still have 3 for loyal retainers. I guess if my opponent plays another creature, I really want to have had blocked this turn. So I should block with Fauna Shaman since it doesn't produce mana. Doing it this way will mean that another Thought-Knot Seer is rough. That's fine, I beat that. Alright. Must be nice. White source. Damn it. That's really frustrating. Fauna did not play well. But GG, I guess. Alright, we missed out on caching this one. It's disappointing after a 2-0 start. Alright, closing thoughts. I think this deck list is way too greedy. And I think there's tension between like the Ether Vials and the Mana Dorks. I don't think this deck is great, but is really fun. I'm ending on kind of a low note here, which is really unfortunate, but like so many of these cards are just double colors, and like double colors early on or double colors in a way that aren't particularly well supported by the mana. And like that led to me tripping over my own spells like way too much at the time. I don't really think this is a super viable archetype. Like you can have some fun with this at your FNM or run it through a league and have some fun. But like with the way this is constructed now, it's just too clunky. Like a Wasteland is bad, and that's not an okay place to be when you're like a Mana Dork deck too. Like I have 15 lands plus birds and nobles, Quirion Ranger and Scrib Ranger and Green Sun for Dryad Arbor, and I still felt like I was just tripping over mana. Like if we look at the things that are effectively mana in one way or another, I effectively have 27 mana sources plus Vial kind of for 31, and I still just felt like the mana was bad. If I were to play this again, I'd probably like eliminate all of the blue from the deck and all of the red from the deck and just like try to play a junk version of this, but I don't know that the power level is there without some of the blue cards and these like fringe sideboard cards. And I don't know that there's a strong advantage to playing this over something like, say, Maverick or something like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I hope to see many of you on Wednesday for my 1 year of streaming celebration, where I'm going to be playing a throwback D&T list. I think the 2006 one was winning on the poll. I'll have to check again tomorrow to confirm. But that should be a lot of fun. If you enjoyed my content, please consider doing something to support my channel, whether that's, subscribing, doing a donation deck list, or, just getting the word out about my channel. Mangara Lock playing the Mangara Lock? You bet, Mike. You bet. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be a disaster stream. Like, we're not even going to have Thalia. The deck list is so old. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, and if you're looking to see something fun on this channel, I don't have any donation deck list for February yet, so feel free to contribute. With special guest and D&T expert Anurag Das. Maybe some other day. Alright, folks, I'm going to go ahead and host Jarvis and call it a night. I hope you had fun.